Hi everyone, this is James from Info Direct Group YouTube channel. I have a new video for you. It is called Get Ready for the Rapture of the Church. And I'm recording this video October the 28th of 2025. I'm going to begin. Now today, unfortunately, I had to go to a funeral this morning in Canada. You know, funerals can be very bittersweet. You know, you are sad that you lost your loved one, but it's nice to see relatives and friends that you haven't seen in many years. And it can make you realize how important family is and how amazing they really are. So I'll just mention actually my uncle Vern. He was 88 years old and he was shy 4 days to his birthday. He would have been 89. And my Uncle Vern was a kind, very gentle soul, and he certainly has a wonderful family that he left behind. So my prayers are for them, that they be comforted at this time. But when I got back this afternoon, I felt the Lord wanted me to create another video. So I wasn't totally sure what I was going to make the video about, but then I realized about this poem that I felt through the power of the Holy Spirit to create this while I was driving. I deliver auto parts for a living, and my first delivery is around an hour out and about 50 minutes out, just to be more clear. So after 50 minutes of driving or 10 minutes out to my destination, I felt moved by the Holy Spirit to create a poem, which is not something I do. I don't create poems, but this is the result. But right now, I just want to share you the date this happened. This is August the 29th of 2024. And after I received this poem that was, came to my head, I was just about to drive by this church called Resurrection Lutheran Church. And I felt moved by the power of the Holy Spirit to turn into this parking lot and record this poem. So that's what I did. But what I want to do now is I want to show you the date that I put in time and date calendar calculator, August 29th of 2024. Again, this is when I received this poem, to October the 29th of 2025. And the result is 426 days. Now that is 1 year and 2 months, or 14 months. Now again, I decided to look in Strong's Concordance. Now in Strong's Hebrew, 426 is God. And in this result, 426, you have 4. Now 4 symbolizes door, and Jesus is the door. In John chapter 10, verses 9, it mentions that Jesus is the door. And in John chapter 11, verses 25, it says, I am the resurrection and the life. And as always, I recommend that you look up the verse and read it for yourself, because I'm just paraphrasing or taking some of the words from that verse. And I think that was not a coincidence that I happened to be driving by a church called Resurrection. So again, I pulled over and recorded that poem in the parking lot in Toledo, Ohio. And also, 1 could represent God, and 2 either means unity or division. It's a duality. And the biblical meaning linked to 14 is salvation. And salvation only comes through Jesus Christ. And you want to have a relationship with Jesus, and I recommend you look up John chapter 14, verses 6. I'm going to continue. Now, when I seen that day count for 426, I remembered that Strong's H426 means God. And I could not remember exactly what verse it was. And it is Daniel chapter 2, verses 44. Right here, God. Okay, it is H426 is the Hebrew word. King James translators chose the English word God for. Okay, but let me read Daniel chapter 2, verses 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to the other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Isn't that very comforting? We win. In the end, we win. So if you're watching this video after millions of people missing, the rapture has happened. But there still is hope. You still can be saved. You're going to want to turn to the two witnesses. They'll come shortly after the rapture, I believe, and they'll be in Israel. Look up Revelation chapter 11, verses 3. And the Lord wanted me to recommend the King James Version of the Bible. So I'm going to continue. Now, if you watch my videos before, I've showed you this image a number of times, and I just want to include this again. Now, I put this journal entry, this part here, back October the 29th of 2024. Now, exactly 1 year later will be October the 29th of 2025. And 2 weeks before that, I purchased a new journal, and I felt moved by the Holy Spirit to put this on the third page. So I put, "It is finished. Today shalt thou be with me in paradise." And I put a hill here and 3 crosses. And I believe maybe about a month later, I wanted to put the Hebrew gematria value for YHWH because I felt moved by the Holy Spirit to circle a 13. And then I put a 16 here and then circle it and connect it together. So you have 1316. So that's what I did. So it is possible that this could be pointing to the soon rapture of the church and the tribulation and Jacob's trouble starting. But I do not know. Time will tell. I'm going to continue. Now I want to end this video on this slide and read this poem that I felt moved by the power of the Holy Spirit to record. The poem's name is "What is Truth?" Truth is naked as a veil removed, as light breaking through. It can be scattered, but in the end, there it is for everyone looking through. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. I love you all. And I want to also say John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. In Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 through 9. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. In Romans chapter 10, verses 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. And the Lord's name is Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. I love you all.